My fellow Nigerians and dear friends, my dad, Michael Ayo, passed away exactly 1 year ago today, November 2, 2024. Today, the first anniversary of his passing, I want to share with you just how much my dad loved our country, Nigeria, how much he cared about its future, and how much he believed in my calling to lead our country as president in the future. First, let me take you back to the moment I received news of his passing. In September last year, 2023, I started editing an autobiography written by a very good friend of mine. By the end of October, I was done with the first 2 chapters. On November 1, I started editing chapter 3. Interestingly, in chapter 3, my friend narrated how he received news of his father's passing while he was at the university. As you would imagine, I was quite touched reading how my friend dealt with that very sorrowful situation. More importantly, my friend's experience forced me for the very first time ever to think about how I was eventually going to deal with a similar situation. I knew it was going to hurt badly, but at least I resolved to be mentally strong. And that reflection was a major contributor to that. In what was effectively an act of divine coincidence, the very next day, November 2, I was informed that my dad had passed away. Indeed, that previous day's reflection really helped me to deal with the grief I felt throughout that period. Now, like every other human, my dad had his flaws, but he loved Nigeria so much and wished it well that he just couldn't stop hoping for military rule to come to an end in the 1990s. He was also an avid reader and read newspapers and magazines to be informed about everything that was going on in Nigeria and beyond, and frequently shared his thoughts on the issues with many people around him. In fact, it was because he wanted me to be similarly informed about national and global affairs that he taught me to read newspapers and magazines at an early age. As previously mentioned, my dad also greatly believed in my calling to be the president of Nigeria in the future. Indeed, I'll never forget the day he told me he wanted my younger brother, Arnold, who has a naturally muscular physique, to enroll at the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna so that he could rise through the ranks and eventually become an army general. My dad's thinking was, given the several military coups that Nigeria had experienced in the past, there was the possibility that a senior military officer would similarly want to attempt to overthrow my government. And his idea to prevent that was, with my younger brother serving as an army general, he would be able to nip any such moves in the bud, or basically to use his influence in the military establishment and prevent that from happening. So yes, not only was my dad confident that I'll be Nigeria's president someday, but he also wanted me to succeed as president because he knows I love Nigeria very much and mean well for her. And yes, that's a thought I'll cherish until that day comes. May God bless you all, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.